Okay, hello everybody. This is going to be a video review of a small travel trailer, an Aliner Classic 2010 model. And small travel trailers, you know, I find a lot of fun. Our family has a good time camping with them. Go a lot of different places in Florida. We go out west. We've been out west before. Go to Minnesota, and we have a great time with them. That's great family time. It's also, I think, a useful thing for prepping also, and if you ever had to leave suddenly for any kind of disasters or shit hit the fan scenarios, I think it's a good thing to have. It's not something you could always take with you depending on the circumstances, but in a lot of cases, as long as you can drive on the road, you can use it. So I'm just going to give you a little tour of it and tell you some of the things about it in case you're interested. And we'll start on the outside. You can see it's a little bit dirty, needs a little washed. But as you can see on the outside, we have these tinted windows that this model came with, and those are pretty standard, and that's real nice, helps keep the heat out. And we have our spare tire on the back where I'm able to tie in some carpeting, outdoor carpeting, which is always nice to have. So that's a real nice feature of it. And over here we've got this is your fresh water connection you can unhook, and this is your battery where you can hook into power, shore power there. And this particular one has where you can hook in for any antenna or cable if you want, which we've used, and it works really good. In Florida, you got to have air conditioning. Don't necessarily need it everywhere, but you sure do here. And this is a nice cover on it, and so this is something we use oftentimes in the fall or spring if we're camping in Florida. You definitely got to have it. And this trailer does fold down. I said flat, so it's very easy to pull. There's negligible amount of extra gas is used when you're towing it. You hardly can even feel it back here because it folds down. It's relatively lightweight. This is about 1,800 pounds. And going around the front here, this is a utility shower, which we've only used a couple times because we have our own portable shower system we use. But, you know, it's a nice little feature, and you can get hot water out of it, too. There is a hot water heater that comes with this, a 6-gallon hot water heater along with a 12-gallon tank. And we actually owned a smaller Aliner before we bought this one, and you know, I like this one a lot better. One thing I like is you have the battery compartment on the outside where it's easy to get to, and the other one was like underneath the bed in the smaller Sportliner model, which I did not like at all. It was hard to get to, so this is a much nicer feature. And you get dual tanks, which is nice, dual propane tanks. And you see there's stabilizers. This one has 4. They come standard with 2, but I think it's good to have 4 on all of the ends of it. This is a rear storage that's under one side of a table, dinette bed. And this is another storage thing that's under the queen size bed inside, which I'll show you. And you have a couple of electrical outlets out here. This is for a grill hookup. The little rack will slide in there, and that's a nice feature because you can then either put a grill or you can put this stovetop on out here outside, and that works really well with windows. Alright, as we go in, and to the right, you've got your dinette and bed, and it's really easy to convert. It's really nice, pretty big bed. You could sleep 2 small people on it, but we usually just use it for my son. And then these cushions come up, and there's storage underneath where we keep things. And this is a 3-way refrigerator, which is very nice. And this is the stove comes with it, which you can hook up inside here. It hooks up underneath the sink. As you can see, 2-burner stove, works really well. And you also get, right as you walk into the left, you have a microwave that hooks right in there. And this is our sink. And this is nice because you can lift it up and down, which is nice. The other one we had didn't do that. So that's a nice feature. And there you can see where the air conditioner runs out. And that's better. This is more in the middle. The other model we had, the smaller one, was like over in this area next to the door, and it really didn't circulate the air that great. And you know, you really needed fans on in here along with it, so especially if you're down in the hot summer in the Keys or something. So this works a lot better. It circulates the air better. Maybe it's a better unit than the other one was too. That's possible. And we put our own just to give us more space, you know, more drawer space. We just put this in here where we can put different kitchen things on here. You also have storage underneath the sink on this one. You know, some of these come with furnaces, and the furnaces normally go under here, but furnace isn't really something that I'd get a lot of use out of where we camp and at the time of the year, so it's much better to have this storage space, I think, under here. So you can see you got outlets. The stove has this electronic controls where you can very easily switch them back and forth. You can see that, which is a lot easier than the other one. A lot of the other ones are older A-liners. You have to do it outside, and it's manual. Of course, this has more things that could go wrong with it, I imagine, but this works really well. It's very easy, idiot-proof. And you can see we've got, this is a refrigerator, and there's a lot of room. It has a little freezer in it. Works real well. And there's your cable TV outlet or antenna outlet. And there's storage under here. And you got storage here where you could put a porta potty slide out. We don't use it for that. We use it for food storage under here. Instead, we have a lug-a-loo bucket that we use for emergency potty, which you don't have to have chemicals or water, which I think is a lot better. Alright, this is a queen-size bed. This is a roomy bed, and it's an actual mattress, as you can see. And that makes it a lot more comfortable, and that was one of the real selling points of this. If you've never had a trailer before or camped, having a comfortable bed is, I think, one of the most important things, especially as you get older. You know, when you're young, it's probably not as big a deal, but when you get in your 30s, 40s, 50s, and beyond that, if you don't have a comfortable bed, camping is not that much fun. I mean, it can really take a lot of the fun out of it. So this is a nice queen-size bed, and what's really great about it is it lifts up. You can see it lifts up, and there's lots of storage underneath here. And you can see where the water tank is underneath here. And plenty of storage room. You know, we put all kinds of stuff down here. We have everything we need. So this is a really nice feature of this particular model, the Classic 2010. Now, some of the things you do have to watch out for when these things, since you're folding these walls up, and there is the potential, and it's almost always going to happen because it happened with the other model. You can get bugs in here. You can get mosquitoes. They will find cracks, crevices. So what you got to do is you kind of got to feel along here. And feel if you can feel any gaps. And another thing to do is when it gets dark, you come out and turn the lights on in here, and then you can also, if you see little twinkles of light coming out from different parts, that's a place. And you know, basically we just stuff paper towels in the little holes, and that does a job. But that is something you have to deal with these A-liners, you know. Because they fold, you know, it doesn't take much for there to be a tiny little gap in the walls, and that if you're in a buggy area, and most of the places we go have a lot of mosquitoes, they will get in. So you have to really troubleshoot that and realize that if you're getting mosquitoes in, they're finding holes in. We found underneath here, the air conditioner wasn't sealed really well right underneath it. There was a big gap there, so we had to stuff some paper towels underneath the air conditioner on the outside because there was a big gap there. This door itself, unless you lock it and use the bolt, which this bolt here, and you have to close it all the way to slide this over, it will not be sealed all the way, and you may not be able to see it, but there will be a gap right here if you just close it normally. If you close it all the way and you move this over, that gap will be gone. But you don't really want to have the bolt. You don't really want to have the bolt shut, you know, when you're just coming in and out. So we close this off at night when we're ready for bed, and then they can't get in through here. But you know, it is a potential entryway there, and you got to be careful. Another thing you got to deal with A-liners is up here. You see the metal brackets where the roof is coming together. Okay, these metal brackets get condensation on them if the temperature gets too cold. You know, if it gets in like the 40s, usually 30s and 40s, if you experience those kind of temperatures, that's when you get condensation on these brackets, and it will literally drip down on you. So, you know, you have to be careful of that. If you're heating up the trailer enough, that may minimize it. You know, we have little portable heaters that we use. But you know, the condensation, you know, can get bad. So, you know, you want to have a towel and you want to wipe it down as soon as you get up in the morning. At least this part of the roof isn't over anybody's sleeping, you know, which is nice. On the other trailer we had, it actually hits you on the arm. So, you know, there are ways to deal with this. If you read the forums and stuff about A-liners, you might be able to find some solutions to this. Some people using two-sided tape and like little strips of carpeting and stuff like that, you know, so you can probably do things. It's not a problem we run into much where we camp, because usually where we go, it doesn't get in the 30s and 40s at night, so we don't have that issue. You know, in the summer when we go out west or we go to Minnesota, yeah, it can get that cool, and that can be an issue. And if you camp in the winter in Florida, yes, sometimes that can happen, but it doesn't happen that often, so it's not a big deal to us because of that. So that's pretty much a quick look at the Aliner Classic. Like I said, it's got all the little bells and whistles. It's roomy enough for us. You know, it's 2 adults and a child, and we have a good time in it. And I think it's a good thing for an emergency. I mean, if, for example, if we had a hurricane and had our power knocked out, this would be, if I was running my generator, I would generate to run off of this. This is where we would be staying after a hurricane if we lost power, because you'd be in here with air conditioning, running off a generator, you'd have all your conveniences. This would be a lot better than staying in the house and trying to cool one room and rigging it up like that. So that, you know, that's why this is good. And you know, you can run the refrigerator off of propane. You know, you can live independently out of this trailer for a while, you know, with what you got. And that's what's nice about it, with the propane and the battery power and everything else. So that's all I can say. If you have some questions or anything, feel free to leave a message and I'll try to answer them for you. See you later. Bye.